Okay. We're back. My name is Harry Tambuatco. We're discussing federalism. So is it the coming together or the coming apart? With us, we have Professor Gil Santos from the Lyceum University of the Philippines. Gil, when we left off, you were promoting the idea that, yes, we need the commentators, the communicators to actually come out and to walk the street if necessary, go into the communities and to try and explain to the people.
Right.
And you're saying, well, the funding of this will have to ideally come from the elite, because where else can it come
Yes.
from? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can take it from there, because how do you make the elite, who is to date the oligarch, to try and turn against himself to say, hey, bibigyan kita ng pera, turuan natin, pero you act against my interests?
Yes, this is the problem that we are faced with today. I'm saying it's tough work, but it's not really impossible, because you can find people who can understand, I believe, who will be able to understand and appreciate that in the long run, it's going to redound to their own benefit as well.
Wait,
you know,
maybe we should answer the question. If you were an oligarch, wouldn't you rather the status quo and the people to stay poor and you get richer, or do you want them to improve their lives? Di ba oligarchs ayaw nila eh. Only for once, himself.
that's the whole problem in human history. All oligarchs did not realize that if you do that and keep empowering yourself only,
Nauubos ang pondo.
no, it's not only that. You can have, remember the Bastille.
Okay.
Remember
it
people
corrupts
power.
as well, yeah.
People power. You know, generally, what happens is people get tired of it and they revolt, either without blood or with bloodshed.
Kasi gutom eh. They want change.
Yes. Now, if you teach them how to fish, don't give them the fish. You are going to benefit yourself, even if you're in the elite class. Because if you're in the elite class and you only propagate what is good for you, then there will be more crimes later because there will be more poor. Now, here is the total picture that we are faced with. By 2050, the world is going to have 10 billion people. We are now 7 billion. Now, by 2050, that's not too far away. Remember. Now, what would the population of the Philippines be at that time? 250 million people. Now, where are we going to get the food that we are going to feed them? We're not. The entire Earth is shrinking because of the population increase. The demographic figures are going to determine a lot how crime is going to be committed later. How much ratio of the crime, how much policemen, how many policemen will you
Crime
need?
will be rationalized one way or the other.
Yes. Now that should be imparted to the elite, and that should sink into the elite. I don't think it's going to be a real tough job, but it's going to be tough, you know. But it has to be told them quite frankly and honestly, and if necessary, you know, slap them with it on the face so that they really appreciate it. Otherwise,
it's going to be difficult slapping the likes of the Zobels. But go ahead.
well, we can try, you see. But because I think the more we go into this technical world of the 21st century, the more that the elites are going to realize this.
The elite, the oligarch, and those who are the dynasts that create the oligarchy, most are well-trained and educated. Some are stupid and lazy and refuse to be educated, but most are well-educated, as we have seen. The problem is, this is not new to them, the concept of what you explained, wherein, in the long run, if you rule like that, it will turn against you. But you see, many of them know that and still persist in their many ways today.
Because they say, hey, I'm only good up to 80 years anyway, and then I'm dead. You know, I leave that to the next generation. You know, well, that is precisely the point. That you cannot take away from human nature. And
so, in other words,
I concede that much, you know.
So we have to address the oligarchs.
Yes.
The very elite.
Yes.
To be able to participate here by allowing you fund an education that will go towards a proper federalism.
Yeah, but there are traces of that now. Because in the Philippines, for example, you have the Philippine Business for Social Progress. And that is a pool of the total income, a ratio of total income of all the corporations in the Philippines. And they put that for social responsibility projects.
But if that's the case, why is it we have so many millions still marginalized and starving?
Because the population increases faster than they could do the education and the propagation of the information. That is the problem. Yeah.
So tama pala si Noynoy. Mag-birth control na lahat, population control na lang. Well, he disguised it as the responsible parenthood when in reality it's population control.
Yeah, but actually, if you look at it really in actual practice, if you have economic activity, the population goes down. The population goes down. Yeah.
When there is intelligence and there is
Yes.
education.
Correct.
First world countries today,
Yeah.
talagang nagbagsakin yung population nila.
But it took them time, you know. There's a time lag.
Well, most European countries are down. Japan is down. America, no. For some reason, it's still very healthy. 2.2, 2.3 in population.
Over
Tayo,
healthy, in
2.7.
fact, they have more diabetics.
But they're growing
Yeah.
just as fast. They're not going to reduce their population. Tayo, mataas. 2.7, almost 2.9%.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
ang problema is, okay, while the people are growing, talagang the attitude should be teachers, communicators, to
Yes.
help the people understand whether we go forward with the coming together or coming apart. You say it's coming together.
It's coming together, but you're right also, you know, you cannot view it only from it's coming together, but you have to be realistic and look at where it's coming apart so that you can plug that hole, you know, so you can get something done in real time, you know.
But, for example, let's talk about another department of government, the judiciary. Currently, the Supreme Court is the one that heads all their funding. They're not really under audit. They can't be audited. They are independent.
And they administer the courts.
They administer everything.
Yeah.
But you go outside Metro Manila, the courts are decrepit, kaawa-awa. And ako naaawa ako wherein the judges sometimes, or many a time, is dependent on the local mayor, the local government.
Well, that is the bad side of a centralized government.
Yeah, but if we cut the judiciary into 8 different pieces, or 10 or 11 states, will that not suffer even further?
No. If
So
you have
tatanggalin na natin yung budget, for example, sa yung income ng judiciary, hindi na pwedeng dumiretso sa Supreme Court para sa kanila. Kasi the Supreme Court judges are the ones who make hay. Everybody else suffers.
Yes,
Ako
yeah.
naawa ako sa plight ng judges and their courtrooms. It's
Yeah.
really sad.
Yeah.
And many of them are overloaded. You can see it, the documentation, communication, etc. Even their decrepit rooms,
There
of
is-
which they have to even improve.
Well, this is where ideally this 65-35 ratio I was talking about should work. Should work ideally, you know. But then you cannot also discount the fact that there could be abuses on the part of the local justices.
There is
That's
also
fast.
that. There is also
Yeah.
that. Just like the oligarchs and the
Exactly,
dynasties.
yeah.
How do you think we can ever go forward? Let's assume, let's go fast forward 1 year today, and we have the CONAS or the CONCON has voted we are going to go federalism. How long before we can implement it? You say 2 years earlier.
2 years only for the information propagation, you know.
But the actual implementation...
You have to have a referendum or a plebiscite. You have to refer that
No, of
to
course,
the
because you have
people,
to
know.
create it first.
Yes,
And then
yes.
you have to go and get a Smartmatic again, and
Yes.
someone's going to steal the elections once again. But even then, assuming it's been voted for, the actual implementation to bring in federalism is actually coming apart.
Realistically, I cannot say we can do it in 6 years.
Hindi
We
kaya,
cannot.
no? Ako rin
Hindi
parang
kaya.
hindi possible.
Hindi kaya
Maski 10
talaga.
years,
Oo.
parang... Because the educational loan, by itself, the content is so difficult to understand, comprehend,
Correct,
much less
correct,
implement.
correct.
And then put into an ideal form of a federalism. The Philippine federalism. Di ba? Mabigat
Our
na-
version, yes.
Our version.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Yes.
It's difficult. Although we have a strong man now, he sees his idea. And from his point of view, tama siya. Kasi lugi ang Davao eh.
Yes.
Sa dami nilang ginagawa, lugi talaga sila.
Yeah.
And he stood up for it. The other mayors in the other cities do nothing and keep quiet. It's only until they become senators that they think they become presidentiables. Di ba dito, all the senators think that they're above everybody else?
Because our practice of politics is personal and transactional.
And
Yeah.
popularity-based.
Yes, yes.
Isa pa yan. Mali.
Yes,
Something
yes.
very wrong with it.
Correct.
So, the mindset has to be changed just as well. So, balik na naman tayo. The academe, but the academe has failed. I'm talking DepEd,
Yes.
grade school. I mean, they don't even teach martial law, as we well know. They don't teach many of the issues. Do you know, college kids today, when they graduate, don't know how to pay their income tax or to fill it up. The universities don't teach them. They don't know how to fill up all the different PhilHealth, how to apply for it, how to get the
Yeah.
SSS.
Yeah.
I mean,
You have to teach them critical thinking, analysis, and
that I think
Yeah.
we do. In all,
No.
Ay, hindi pa rin.
Hindi pa
But
rin.
I see
Hindi
the
pa rin.
Filipino that travels abroad. My gosh, he's resourceful. When you're resourceful, that means there's critical thought.
If you are abroad, here they don't.
Hindi.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Bakit ganun?
Oh,
I
because
mean, you work so hard in the university, and I've seen the process. You
Because-
open the minds of these kids.
yes, but you see, my problem with them is when they get home, they go back to the original family position. See, most of our old parents, the average Filipino parent, tells the kids, don't talk. We're talking. The elders are talking.
Mali, ano?
Mali yun, no? And you know, why do they do that? Why do they tell
To
the
keep
kids?
their authority.
No, because
Fear.
they don't know the answer to the questions the kids ask. When the kids ask, Nanay, bakit ho may buwan? You see? Now, if the mother doesn't know the answer, her first reaction is, oh, wag kang tanong ng tanong, ha? Diyan ka lang, may ginagawa ako. Oh. So that's
Stupid, ano?
yes. But you cannot fault her for that because she doesn't know any better. So we go back to the home, you see, so that in the long run, where in the short and the medium term, I'm talking of 10, 15 years, you are going to have still this problem of the home education, which is deficient. But we will have to plod along. Otherwise, we won't be able to move on if we don't start now.
So the
And so-
education is general, not just those that are age of school until 20,
No.
but the home.
No, yes.
Oh my gosh, how are we ever going to do that if the best platform for communication, which is TV, deviates from that very idea? It's
Well,
tearing the
this-
home apart.
this is where- this is
television
where-
does the
yeah.
reverse.
This is where I'm proud to say that we have graduates at Lyceum who have embedded in their own culture now.
Yes.
The young ones, you know, they call them the millennials, but some of these graduates of ours don't belong to what you call the average millennial now.
Well,
they don't.
don't look like in America that they're doing the right thing, and they're called the one and the same thing. But
Yeah.
nevertheless,
Nevertheless, I'm proud of them because they are showing what can be done. But you see, I've started this in 1999. So it takes a long while, you see. Even the curriculum, we're changing it year after year after year, so that it keeps in cadence with the times, you know. I must mention this in the program. Did you know that there was a story? I think I sent you a copy in the internet that Finland by 2020 is going to stop teaching all general subjects in schools. It's going to be all case studies. What happened? Why did it happen? How did it happen? And what is it going to be to you in the next few years? You see? So this is the kind of thinking that the students should have, relative and relevant to the 21st century, because of, one, you have to have multitasking. Therefore, your scope of mindset and even the scope of your outreach should be
so
further.
the educational system, DepEd again, is failing the people.
Because there is no direct connection with industry requirements.
Wala. There's a mismatch. Not only
They
that,
have what they call now the TESDA, you know. But even that, I know it's not satisfactory. The point of satisfaction for us educators will have to come a long time,
20 years.
20 years.
30 years.
That I grant, But again, how long has Tesla been?
I'm not familiar with the birth of Tesla. I do. Going back to
Well,
this,
it's been more than 20 years.
and but it's
Yeah.
produced some type of labor opportunity for some. So it seems that's that is the promotion they create. They generate an awareness.
In fairness
for
to
their
them,
success.
they've made a dent, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
So the key towards a federalism, a federal state, or the ideal Philippine federal concept, version, is really dependent at this point on education.
Yes.
First and foremost.
Yes.
To be able to discuss it, make everybody
and the
understand.
education doesn't have to be formal. It must start at home.
Ayun, from the
must
house,
start at home.
to make everybody
Yes,
understand.
yes.
But how do we guard ourselves against people with personal interests, oligarchs?
Well, these
Killers.
are the burdens that we will have to carry along the way. But make points, make efforts really to change it, because attitudes take a long time. I'm so realistic when it comes to that. But I would be very happy to be one of the first to infiltrate the elite and say this is what you should do.
Most governments that became federal came together when they were independent by themselves, and they came into a union and called themselves the federal states.
After a bloody civil revolution.
Okay. Bakit tayo baliktad? Ba't gusto natin mag-federal? Hindi kaya parang namamareho yan sa the Balkanization of Yugoslavia, of Herzegovina, Montenegro, di ba?
Well,
Sila baliktad, ano? I mean, they were a federal unitary government. They broke apart. Today, they're poor.
Well, yes, except
Diba?
except Romania has gone up, has gone up more than the others,
For
Poland is
example,
going up.
Look at Brexit. Brexit got out of the trying hard of coming together of a federal Europe, and they voted out. Everybody says it's spelling gloom for them. Their money has dropped. Their economy is pretty much getting into teeters and in that direction.
That is one side.
One side. There's another side that it can, but it still has to be proven.
Yes.
At this point, getting out seems to be more tedious than trying to stand up alone. But hindi kaya that's the wrong direction rather than staying together? Can you imagine this election in America? I found it really stupid. I mean, the very America that promotes democracy, di ba? Now is in tatters with their people lining the streets. They don't want to accept the popular vote of the majority. Now there's what they call California exit. The Cal exit.
Not just popular vote. This is the electoral votes as well.
Oh, but no matter how minimal, no matter what Trump is, it is still President-elect Trump based on the democratic system.
Yes.
Diba? And yet, these very people, ang sad part is the millennials who are in the streets outraged.
Well,
it doesn't make sense. Hey, I thought you guys promote democracy. You don't want to follow it?
It's also part of their problem because some of them didn't vote.
Regardless, the point is, you have a president, panindigan mo. I didn't vote for President Digong, but when he was proclaimed, naging president-elect and president, he's my president. Kailangan ganun eh.
But that's the culture of the Americans. That's the problem with them. Again, that's a separate one, which they will have to do it by themselves. We can't do anything.
Because of the time frame, the limitation, and the uphill battle of what we call federalism is to be, wouldn't it be so much easier to just amend the laws and improve it by strengthening local government? It's already a form of federalism.
I think we should do both.
Yes,
simultaneously.
So, improve and strengthen local government while we are in that journey, in that road full of potholes towards going federalism.
And explaining to them exactly what it is.
So maybe 10 years or so, pwede na tayo mag-federal.
Yes,
But between now and then, improve na.
Oh.
Start.
Yeah, because you can't lose.
Well, we're
What
at
is
the
there
end.
to lose?
Gil, it's been too long that you've stayed away from GNN. You've been very busy. I'm glad that we're back. We're going to have to keep discussing federalism for the people to understand. Your message to the
Yeah.
to our viewers.
Well, my message is simple. Unless you understand what this is all about, and for that matter, what is it that you don't understand in your life, then you must make every effort to do it. Otherwise, you're nothing but dead meat. That's what it is. You know? So, whatever it takes, please, please, don't hesitate. Practice your own native intelligence. All of us, I believe, has all this native critical thinking in our minds. We were born with that. The reason children ask, why was I born? How did these things happen? Is because they have their own critical thinking. They want to know how things happen, why they happen, what's the reason. All you have to do is talk to your young kids like they're adults. Don't ever, ever underestimate them.
Well said. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have just banned ignorance. It is not allowed. No longer allowed. It is banned. It is banned. It is banned.
Yep.
Stupidity is unacceptable. Okay ba yun?
Okay.
Maraming salamat po.
Thanks, Gary.
Well,
You are what you watch.